not beer anymore. Yeah.
Did you do the sheet?
Yeah, I gave you guys that.
I guess I could.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm not speaking.
Oh.
It explains what we do and everything, and I've had to edit. We will be coming up with a new sheet, but this is what it is, and I just took and moved even more
That's
others
super.
off there.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what we've
Because
been
we'll
giving
text you.
people.
Yeah.
You know, some of it needs to be a little tweaked.
Yeah.
I think we're on, aren't we?
We're going to do a punch.
Are we live, Teresa? Okay.
Well, we need to open our meeting tonight. The time on the wall says it's a little after 4, so I'll call the meeting to order tonight. I guess Randy is still our president, is that correct?
Pardon?
Randy is our president still?
Greg was.
Oh, excuse me, Greg, I'm
you're
behind. Randy was before Greg.
You have to take
Oh,
care
Greg is resigned and no longer with this group, so I will again attempt to open this meeting tonight. Approval of agenda would be next on the order. Any comments or questions for the agenda this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Give me a Ralph seconds. All in agreement? Signify.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, next, approval of minutes from our previous meeting from May 5th, 2022. Everybody should have had these by email and previous minutes.
You can make the corrections, everybody.
Anybody have a comment or questions about that?
Paul, how'd you get that position?
I'm not sure.
You snuck in there, didn't you?
It was my unlucky day, I guess.
It was.
I tried.
You got the short straw, huh?
Okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve the old.
Mayor Ralph makes a motion, a second to that?
I'll second it.
A second. Are those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
I would
Likewise.
abstain from that one because I wasn't.
Okay, well, I don't think I was here either, so I shouldn't vote on that as well, so I need to abstain as well, I think.
Good job.
Okay, now, public comments. Anybody in the audience
I
here?
do.
Charlie?
Yeah,
Go ahead, please.
One thing, and I spoke to Chris about this today. When you're going through, and Ralph probably helped on this one, going through Candleton like you're coming to Tell City, at the corner before you get to the turnoff to go down to the recycling, there's a big green sign that shows the recycling.
I see
You
it.
can't read it anymore. And I'm not sure if the state did that or if they got the county highway to print it and then they put it up on the state, but it needs to be redone. Because you can't even read the sign to see what it says.
Okay, now, coming in from Tell City.
No, going from the bridge towards Tell City.
Okay,
And at the other end by, the other sign's not any good going.
Oh, I didn't
from
see
the-
that. I just saw
I
the
just saw them
one.
there today too.
so we
Yeah.
need two signs.
Yeah, those signs. And like I said, I don't know if the county highway department did those. Steve will be here for our meeting. I might ask him, but I think they need to be so people have that information.
Okay, what is the source of our signage? Do we get those made locally, or?
I
I
don't,
don't know yet.
That's what he's gonna find out.
Oh, okay.
He's
I'll
gonna-
find out if the county does it, or I wouldn't think the state would have put that up. I
So-
think it had to be something to do with
Steve
the
is the
county.
person to see about that.
Well, that's what I'm gonna
We're gonna ask him.
Green
He
sign.
came in and met
So
me
we
and
need,
I said,
we need two signs.
need two signs.
Okay,
So,
well-
just making this, you guys aware of that.
I would like at least one going that way, because the one going in from Tell City isn't as bad, but it needs to be done.
Might as well do them both at the same time.
Are you gonna carry the ball to the next meeting, Charlie, on that
I
one?
will do that if that's all right.
We need we don't need a motion on that, do we?
No.
I wouldn't think so. Okay,
I'd like to add to his comment, though. The street is closed there at Herzell due to our sewage plant while they're working. Because there's too much traffic now going across the street. So we've got it closed, Herzell Street. So anybody going to the recycle needs to go on down to another street and come up along the flood wall on the backside and come in. It's open to get in.
Yeah,
You might
Just gotta
post
go
that on
around.
your website.
yeah, he just mentioned, I didn't, no one, they didn't
Yeah.
call and tell me, so I'm glad you.
So just let them know there's a detour to get to it.
Absolutely.
well, next on the agenda, approval of the financial statement. That should have, take a look at that, if you will.
Just a little on the very last page, cash balances. It's got 420, 822 on top of both columns. Then down at the very bottom, on one column, it's got 433, 294.14, and the other's 431, 533.76, but it shows the same date for both of them. Maybe I'm reading, missing something here.
What are the dates on those, Paul?
The very top it says, cash balance as of 4/28/22, that's not two separate accounts.
And what line is it, what number?
It's on the very third page.
Okay.
You turn it sideways.
Oh, yeah. There's a little bit in the German-American Bank difference, and
I think his question is, it's 4/28/22 on both of them.
Yeah.
Then when you go across German American, you have two different balances, two different on the credit card, and two different on the German capital
Yeah, I
expense.
just-
But then the other one up here, the fifth third, is the same, and the
Yeah.
CDs are the same. I think that's probably his question.
Yeah.
this, well, I prefer that Wes, and he won't be
Okay.
here today, I'm sorry, but he would be
Okay,
the one that would
I
speak
just-
on that. Anything I would say, I'd be
Yeah.
doing a guess,
Okay.
so.
Well, I
I
got
don't get these until today.
I mean, if one of them had like 424 of 22. then
So
the
was
other-
one maybe a beginning balance, and he just put the number in wrong, possibly, and then it's the ending balance?
I think they have a program that does that, I don't think so.
Well,
Well, should those dates be different there? 28, 28?
I would
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, right.
That's my question, the dates.
Right, I think that.
I'm not sure what,
That could be-
that's-
Well, West is clarifying every month.
you have to ask Wes on that one, right?
Yes.
Check out what's happening there.
Yes, but we'll note that we need to ask about that.
Okay.
Do we want to hold off on it since we don't know the answer on approving the financials then, till the next meeting? I mean, is that gonna cause any problems if we do?
I mean, I don't think it'd be a problem.
It appears that financials is being caught up on April, but not into May.
Well, should we hold off on approval, would that be a problem or not?
That's what I was asking.
I don't-
I would think we should hold off until we have the answers, just,
I agree, exactly.
Okay. Can you
Table financials.
Yes.
check with Chris on that one?
Absolutely, I can.
Or Wes?
Yeah, I can, after I get a hold of him and talk to him, might not be till next week, but I can email you guys. the
Okay,
answer.
just give us some
So
more info.
just for my benefit, what does Wes actually do? Do you guys do the basic accounting, you provide him the numbers, or does he do everything, or how does he fit into this?
We take all payments, cash, check,
Okay.
to him. They get the direct deposit through the bank, the payments
They
are
do?
direct deposit, yes.
Okay,
And then we get like an ACH payment, I get an email, I print it out, we track that.
okay.
They track more than we do, because they'll track everything.
So they do they write all your checks for you, as far as to
Yes,
these issues
on the
of these
payments,
vendors?
yes. And they
then
know what check number, they
They
know
do the
what
whole,
check.
so they're basically doing all your bookkeeping, most of it, except the walk in the door.
Right, yeah, and that is one of my things, I'm used to knowing more about things and what checks have cleared, what haven't when they've been sent. But yes, that is how it is set up for them to do it. And it's also to control, to make sure everything's right. We don't want me in the office having all that control, or anybody in that office.
Then he in turn balances you at the
Yes.
end of each month.
Yes,
So that
yes.
you- Okay.
But this could be done more in the office, absolutely, but that is not the way it is set up at this time.
And his service charge, I'm assuming, is around $1,000. I saw that somewhere, where he was getting an invoice, and I'm assuming that's for a month?
Yeah, as far as, I would say yes,
I paid it,
because
Yeah.
it's
It's,
1,100, it's actually 1,100.
1,100,
Mhm.
and that would be a monthly charge.
Yes.
Okay. Then this Heritage Environmental Services,
Mhm.
what do they actually provide for you? It's a, large charge.
Heritage would be picking up some of our stuff, and I'm trying to think, they picked up the oil, no, it was environmental tech. They provide us with.
Like your hazardous type
Mhm.
paints,
Yeah, we have different,
batteries?
Mercury?
One's solid, one's liquid, isn't it?
on the mercury,
No, I'm talking about Heritage. They pick up the solid and the liquid?
There's two separate
No.
charges. And I'm not, is that like just a month, or is that for,
let me, I wanna look at the,
I'm looking on the, it would be like third page, maybe?
It was all the same, it was all invoiced the same date, but it was 2 different days they were there. They were there on the 16th
Well, they might have been
and
at
the
Counson one
17th.
day and then at Branchville the other.
Okay.
Because,
The one was for 10,714.20, and then the other one was 225, but I'm just curious.
yeah, do you mind if I step up?
Yeah, sure. I'm just trying
It's
to
okay.
educate myself.
No, those right there, once I looked at the amounts out there. When we had the paint, when we had the TVs, all of that picked up, that was a $10,000 bill. We removed the paint that had been sitting for years.
Is that primarily based on weight? They weigh it and
Yes,
charge
and
us
how
by
many
weight?
items. Yes, like there's a breakdown, how many latex paints or how
Okay.
many this, and it's broke down and how much in that bill. The last time I see that we paid them was 2 years ago. So I would say in 2 years, that's the buildup.
Okay.
And you don't have any idea how much volume it actually was?
I have that paperwork. I didn't bring it with me, but
I'd
I
like to
can,
see
yeah, I
see
can
that,
provide
and
it.
then, and same way with like the televisions.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know how many of those that get dumped in. And do you charge a fee for accepting those?
No, unless
You
it's a
just
big
take-
council, if it's a large council, older TV,
Yeah.
it's usually 5 tax, $7.50.
Okay.
If someone comes in with the flat screen that most people
Small
have,
one.
it is free.
Okay.
But it costs us to remove it. That goes back into the $45 fee
Right.
and what we're bringing in from the sale of cardboard and everything to help generate. We do not charge people. In Posey County, they charge them according to the size of the screen. I think it's 20 inches is like $20. Anything above is 25. So, we've got a ton of them. And they also charge, I think, $10 for a computer screen. So we don't do that. It works out that we have to remove it. It comes in for free as a courtesy to the, I feel it's a courtesy to everyone in Perry County that we do accept those. They can bring them for free. They don't have to worry about taking care of them. But they have to realize that that is part of a perk for
It's a
your
cost.
45. Yes.
So Chris, when you pick them up on trash day in Tell City, what's Tell City do with them?
They get put in those big hopper dumpsters and hauled off to a landfill.
So they're not recycled, they're just moved on.
Just moved on.
Is that an option? Is that?
Can be, but this would cost us more. It's gonna
Right.
cost us either way. Either the city's gonna pay for it through the landfill way, or it's gonna come out to have a landfill and go their way.
Yeah.
TVs, sometimes, I don't know how many TVs, big TVs they pick up anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Probably not as many because, there's big screens, but some of the, I don't say the scrappers, but scrappers pick them up because they get the whatever out of them that's in
Yeah.
them. There's something,
Yeah.
some of them cut the cord off for that little bit of copper and a cord. I swear I've seen it done. It's
It-
like-
and people do.
I'm like, oh my goodness,
There's a
Like-
TV, no cord, and it's because they've taken it. So
there's,
people-
how much copper's in that? Like none hardly, but, okay. But yeah, they just end up in a landfill.
Hmm?
Now, the metals, we do take out metals, like somebody, I don't know what would be metal that somebody leave, a patio table that's metal. We do set that aside as a city to recycle that.
Right. And you guys take TVs, and people, do they have to pay for that, or they just put it outside?
We do not take TVs.
Okay, so their only
They have,
option is
your only
for us.
option is you, if they want to get rid of it. We don't just pick
Yeah.
those up with the tag on.
And they use it, we had 11 Gaylor boxes of TVs on that 10,000. There were 11 Gaylor boxes wrapped up above the top of the box.
Wow.
So
That's
that's
quite
a
a
lot.
few.
Yeah, and there's more. We could do another one, but at that price, it's,
Yeah,
you have to
I'm kind of
budget
curious
it.
as to what the breakdown is between paint, TVs and that, and maybe it's something that needs to be,
Yeah, I've got it.
discussed
It's
as
just,
how-
it's never been
how that's
requested to
being
be at the
handled.
meeting, but I can.
some people utilize the service, others don't. And
Yeah.
if there's a way to,
And I will tell you that in the northern part of the county, that it is used more than people think. What we sell in tickets and what we do in tonnage and everything is about the same. We have about the same amount of customers. And
out
they
of
buy about,
Branchville
yes.
as you do in Canada.
Yes. That shows me that the people, and they will tell you that they recycle because they don't want to have a dumpster, that they pay $100 a month. I had a gentleman tell me, because I went out and worked Tuesday because Jean was sick. So I was out there all day and talking to people, and he said his solid waste in 2 years is less than $40. That his brother and his mother use the dumpsters, and that's $100 a month, 80 to 100. And he said he's bought less than 40 tickets in 2 years. He recycles everything. And there's other people out there that do it. They come every week, they do it, they have their things separated. I was surprised that what he sells out there in tickets is as high as it is, and that many people use it. It is, maybe 1 month a little bit less, but they use it out there in that northern part of the county, a lot. And the most I sat down was 15 minutes. There was constant flow there.
It's good.
Yes.
Those two accounts are separated by the account number, actually, on their different days.
On the waste
And-
management, yeah, because
Yeah.
because sometimes, it's a tipping fee, or sometimes it is.
No, it's on the same Heritage Environmental Service.
Right,
It's got
but they
this-
might be doing something different. That $2.25 could have been a surcharge for their fuel, and that's why it's separate, because we've got surcharges now because of fuel going up.
So it's recognized by an account number, that's when they switch it?
Yes, a code.
Okay.
There's a 4-digit
Code.
code when I'm submitting payment, like 5962 would be, let's just say, repair and maintenance, and then we have fuel, then we have, everything's broke down. And that 225 could be fuel, their
Right.
surcharge
I see a typo error there on the date,
on the date.
2055.
2055?
Hoffman Office Supply.
No, it's on the date itself, on mine, Heritage Environmental, the first one.
Oh, there is, yeah, there's one for
2055.
Hoffman.
Well, there's 3 or 4 other 55s there too,
There
so.
are.
Maybe we don't have to pay those for 30 years.
Probably not. So some kind of glitch there in the program or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Census and,
So we'll make sure that Wes explains that
Okay.
to me, and I will email you gentlemen what that difference in there, if there's a typo on the month,
Okay.
on the 3rd page.
all righty. So we're going to put off the approval till June, right?
Yes.
Okay, advisory board, that's non-existent at this point?
Until you decide if you're going to have one or not.
Okay.
That's the last question.
That will be up to this
Your
board. Yeah. And by law, that's not required, right?
By law, it is required. It says shall.
I thought we were hearing that it was not necessary to have an advisory board.
That's what Greg was saying, but the statute shows shall. And according to attorney, shall means you will.
Correct.
But that's something you might want to run again by your attorney.
Okay,
I'll
Check with him and-
Okay.
we don't have people knocking down the doors to be on that board, obviously.
No.
So,
It's not for a lack of being asked. either.
yeah.
I was the only one that said that I would serve
Yeah.
on that.
Okay, director's report. Chris,
Yes, sir.
what do you have to tell us today?
Ah.
All good news, we hope.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I enjoyed your pictures you sent to us about the changes made at Branchville. It looks like that's, again, it's
I'm excited about it too. It looks
EPA,
nice.
or not EPA, but IDEM.
Yes.
They were happy with it, so.
Yeah, I have not gotten, I left him a voicemail, I sent him this
Okay.
stuff, I haven't heard from him, but I know that the gentleman that's handling it also has a different, got promotion. They haven't replaced him yet, so he's doing both jobs. So I'm sure, I hope by tomorrow I get a letter, but
And there's
yeah,
gonna be some additional sheeting put around it to
Yes.
prevent
just,
water or rain.
yes, on the back long side.
Okay,
And then on the west side. That's why there's the 2x4s where they are,
mm-hmm,
or 1x6s, on the side to be, because I don't want that metal to come in and get dented or damaged. So
Right.
those boards that go horizontal, the two are to prevent.
now who's doing that for us?
I haven't got the person to put the metal on the back yet.
Okay,
So far, it's been through Luttrings and me.
okay.
I can still dig a hole. So, we were out there Monday,
All right.
working on it and fixing it, and that was when the pictures were taken. So, as far as the state's concerned, we were done on the 23rd, which was my personal goal, because
Okay.
it
Good
actually
deal.
is tomorrow, so I'm quite happy with that.
All right,
We reinforced, I don't know if you could see on the bottom, we reinforced with 3 2x6s in the ground to keep it level, because the hill's slanted on the one end. So we reinforced it in the back all the way across and on the side, because I don't want it to be able to go back down. I don't want to go out in 2 years and keep ordering gravel to do that. So everything's level, it's been hammered down, and we're good to go.
good, good.
But like, that is true, those things need to be done, but not to be out of violation. So
Right.
they will be done to prevent and to keep things done correctly.
All right, go ahead into your report, if you would, please.
Okay, and I want to let you know, our river sweep was rescheduled for, it's going to be June 11th because of the water. There was too high, so we've got that for the 11th. And
June 11th?
yes, sir. And that is also still being done with Paddle Perry. And we've received one resume. A gentleman did come in to get an application, he hasn't brought it back, so having one resume, and I want to keep going a little bit and see if we can have more than one and see what we're.
You mean for this assistant
Secretary.
position? Okay.
The secretary, yeah. So,
So one applicant, right?
yes. And I double checked just before I left that anyone had, emailed anything, no.
Are you gonna run the ad another week?
We actually got 5 weeks. I paid for 4 and they didn't run it the first time, so we got 5, I think so.
Is it on Facebook as well, or?
I don't have it on Facebook. Our
Okay.
page is not, that
Or
was
meant
one of the
any
things.
local website?
I don't think so. Word of mouth,
Teresa, do you have a list of the
And-
county's website?
no. Yeah, right. It's not a county,
I'm just thinking,
yeah,
I know how these things work.
yeah. So kind of limited, but, if anyone knows anybody or someone's interested, it's 24 hours a week. Yeah. Yeah. Just no one gentleman came in, like I said, and one lady sent. And she's older and retired and wants to.
It's a part-time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the average pay or approximate pay on that?
1166.
1160?
66.
66, Gary.
Oh, 66.
Don't forget that extra 6 cents.
Okay.
That's right. Might move you in another tax bracket.
That might, some people
Yeah,
could.
Right. Other than that, I think that's it. If you have any questions, I mean, I know Mr. Cole's new, and I am very open to.
And I'll have a question. Okay.
Yes, sir, I do know
Out
that,
of-
and I want you to know I appreciate the challenge.
Out of
Thank you.
Bristol,
Mhm.
Branchville, you
Yes.
had your oil incident.
Mhm.
And do you have an idea how many dollars was expended there by the time you tested the soil and went through that whole
The
process?
soil testing was 500.
Okay.
The rest of it, we haven't gotten completely billed for it. I am trying to get a hold of getting a good price on the socks that go around that absorb water and oil that will be in the tub. That's been, some places don't have what we need or big enough, so I'm been looking at Granger.
And they'll have to be disposed of as hazardous waste also once they suck the oil.
Yes, sir.
Now, my question, now this is what leads me into this here, and I don't know how much your insurance is costing, but if we did not accept oil, petroleum products, my question would be how much that would impact your insurance? And then the volume of oil, is it a minimum amount? Do we need to look for an alternative or find a furnace that burns that and just burn it internally at some facility? And
Right.
I'm just thinking, a lot of times when you get into petroleum products, it really increases your insurance. Because if your cardboard hits the ground, it's not an issue.
Right.
If the oil hits the ground, it is an issue.
Mhm.
And that's where, if our volume's not up there, most people are getting their oil changed probably at another facility. And whether the volumes are there to justify the cost associated with that, and the county taking that risk, that would be my question.
As I said when you came in yesterday, I've only been in this position
I
since
understand.
January, and
I've just
officially
been
since.
here 2 days, so
Right, so
we're in the same
we
sheet.
can look at that, I have no problem with that, but that's gonna require sitting back and researching and looking at that and comparing, and to be honest with you, we can go in on a weekend and do it, because during the week, I'm busy with everything else in
I
that
don't know
March
who
or so.
our insurance provider in that case would be. I don't know, or is it unique just to solid waste, I'm assuming?
We
Not
have-
Associated with the county?
No, our insurance isn't associated with the
Right.
county, it's our
So
own.
that's a simple question to them. If I quit handling oil, would it impact the liability insurance?
And we also have to look at how it would impact the people, what they would do with it if we didn't offer it. Because
Yeah, we're looking at
there's quite a
alternative.
few. We're talking, you've got Branchville, it holds 250 and Cannleton holds more. And you have people going in there and doing it versus them dumping it. Because that is our goal, is to make sure that we are not violating anything statewide or for the United States.
We want to keep it out of our
And
streams,
keep
our
it out of
ponds, our lakes.
Exactly. We have lakes and streams here. So when you're looking at changing something like that, you have to look at the impact of taking it away.
See, and I hope that our people that live here are responsible. I would hope they wouldn't go out and dump it in a creek if they could.
We
dump
know,
it in a
well, yes,
facility.
you want to believe that people
And-
wouldn't.
And, you know, so with that said, and I saw some of the dumping along the roads and stuff.
Yes.
And I think that that's something that we need to address by severe fines and.
And that would be
and
partly on the police department patrols 37,
and
starting
get
with
some
them.
cameras, we can monitor those
Trail
highly
cams.
used areas and then fine them. I'm tired of the trash laying around.
Yeah, there's certain areas that are worse than
Yeah.
others, and
There's Shepherd's Hatchery, and I don't know.
You said it, I was sorry, you stole my word.
But I mean,
Where's
it
that
has
at?
a tendency.
Behind the patio.
It may be a different name, but.
behind the patio, oh, okay.
If there's one tire, there's 100
Really?
tires.
See,
Well, I think the problem is going to be seeing it happen. You have to have a witness to that.
You have to.
So, and they're not going to do it at probably
Put cameras.
noon, they're going to probably drop at 10 o'clock or midnight, when
Right.
there's nobody around, so.
Well, trail cams could make a difference too.
A cell phone cam
Would that
starts
be
taking
from
your
the-
picture and you buy us 5 once we catch you.
Yeah,
Make it severe.
I
Make it
agree.
severe.
The
Clean it up.
a couple months ago, I'm trying to think if it was between Cannleton and Tell City, there was a freezer and a mattress illegally dumped.
Well, it's probably that road.
Couches.
That was
That's
up in our
got that.
cemetery.
So it's in the cemetery, I thought so, and you know,
And we had cleanup that week, and we feel like it come from out in the county someplace.
Probably.
There was a television up by the bank on 12th Street there, on Highway 66, just sitting there, big box television. I don't know where it comes from.
Who had?
But it was there. It's gone
The
now.
camera out there.
I think. Pretty sure it's gone.
Sooner Hall down in Leopold, they were full, there's a sign that says, and you see a camera mount on the pole.
I don't know.
There's a cell phone up there.
Is there? Yeah. And where's that at again?
You got Old 37, like go to Leopold.
Yeah.
It's called Sooner Holler, you go down there, there's a pole off there, and a little sign, there's a little camera mount there, because that probably people dumping trash. If the county did that, if Steve Howe did with.
I don't know anything about it.
One thing-
There's a sign there's a camera up there, I don't know how,
And could it be private
it could be, I don't know.
on someo's property and they have it because maybe they had a
That could be
problem?
too.
Well,
Yeah.
Shepherd's Hatchery is pretty bad. If you haven't driven it,
I,
wow. There's dozens of mattresses, dressers, couches.
you know, if I've known that, I'd have pictures of that and I'd be asking you to
It's
up my
been
gas.
4 years since I've been drove that road, and that's what was there. I doubt that's been picked up.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's
I
in
was
the
through
county.
there probably a couple of weeks ago, and there was still trash along there.
Okay.
And I think if you pick it up, it just gets replaced.
Okay.
Make a camera
So-
somewhere.
But
I
mean,
can
think-
write, I'll go out there and look and see what we can do. I mean, I don't know. That's extra manpower and extra fuel and everything. It's not that it can't be cleaned up, but maybe that could be
There's
a
one thing
project.
that the county could invest in.
Pick up trash and have people watch it.
Is these- the city has these things called flock cameras.
Drive along, look at them.
And
What do they call it, Chris?
we have flock cameras before, the city does.
Flock,
On the front.
Yeah, it's mainly, it's at entrances of the city, and it generates photos and stuff of the car, and license plate number.
Where do you have them mounted on the?
There's one by the
poles?
bridge, there's one by Wapaka, there's two by the bridge, one by Wapaka and one on 37,
And then where do
They're
they send
solar
their-
powered.
Where do they send their photos to?
all to the police department. And it's part of a flock system, and I can go more details later if you want to hear more on it, but it all is generated, and there's flock cameras up, Indianapolis, there's
And
thousands of them.
How far, in other words, and, because I think the ideal thing would be an existing utility pole in the neighborhood?
They actually install it on its own pole, solar powered, so it doesn't require any electric lines being ran to it. I forget what the cost is a year, $2,500, I think, per camera a year. But you catch 2 people, you've paid for it. And then put it there for long enough, and then move it somewhere else where it benefits in the county.
Sure.
right?
It's an investment, it's a good investment. Ours was paid for by an anonymous donor for 1 year. And we'd love to get 2 or 3 more, because I can tell you the crimes that they've solved is pretty good. They've paid for
Well,
themselves.
it's just simply, if they understand if they're gonna throw their trash, they're gonna pay the price.
They should.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, people do the
If-
right
And if the
thing.
ones that dump it and they have their mail in it, and we find the name,
Well,
we do contact them, but
that's
on the
good to know,
mattress.
because I could get some of your mailing somehow and throw it in a thing and you'd get accused of
Well, I
it.
would ask you.
But I mean,
I know.
that's easy to frame someone on that. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but,
Aren't you busy enough being mayor that you're not going around putting mail?
no, I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying someone could do that. I mean, I could
Yeah.
make up an address and put it
Well,
on
and we
something.
look into it, you know, it's,
People-
yeah, you just, you don't
All
know.
to save $1.50. Or $1
Exactly.
in Tell City's case, but county
Right.
$1.50. But people will do it.
On metal, we haven't gotten our report from May. And on cardboard, we got about 160 per ton.
That's
How
up.
does that compare to
Yeah,
last
it-
month?
It was about the same, it has dropped now to $5, $1.55.
Uh-oh, Gary.
But with what we
It
had
went
in
from
the
150 to what?
160 to 155.
160 to 155.
It's
okay.
gone 155.
Gary, did you sell all yours?
I'm holding it back.
You better sell. It's going down, Gary.
Yeah.
I think the Chinese are going to pick it up.
Okay.
That was like-
They don't think it'll be for long that it goes down, but it did go down $5.
But metal and glass, what about it?
They're about the same.
About the same?
Yeah, I mean, and we haven't gotten that. We don't get metal and glasses as often. You know, we really do plastic and cardboard that we get every month just
And what'd you
about.
say about plastic? What's it doing?
Plastic, that, I don't have anything for me. That, we didn't get
Okay.
that information in either. Last time was March.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Let's see. But I will, if I get any information, I can put that in the email also.
All right.
So other than that, I think we're good. Anything
Okay.
else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
New business reorganization of the joint board.
So we're looking for a president or chairman?
And a vice chairman?
You're vice chairman.
Yeah, I'm the
Unless-
vice chair.
Depends on what role you take in the structure, that position don't open unless you want it.
I guess we're looking for motions from the floor.
Yeah. Hey, Ralph Terry, would you accept chairman?
No,
Oh,
I got my hands full.
do you? Okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
Thank you.
You
Thank
should
you.
be honored, right?
Thank you for the effort.
You're welcome. So we're looking for a chairman.
Chris Kale, would you
No,
accept
no,
chairman?
no, I was gonna say
You
you
seem to
did.
have extra time.
No,
That
I'm
way
not.
you quit putting mail in other people's trash.
Yeah. No, that's what we do.
At midnight.
At midnight. No, I will graciously decline, unfortunately, but I'm like Mayor Terry, I've got my hands so full. I don't know if I'm coming or going half the time.
Mostly coming.
Gary Morton, would you accept it as chairman?
Well,
The pay is
if,
outstanding.
Yeah.
what are the fringe benefits?
Sitting in the
right.
middle of the meeting.
You get control over the meeting.
Well, if that's the mood of the group, I guess I could serve in that position.
Well, good. And I will make a motion to appoint Gary as chairman.
Nominate.
Nominate, rather? Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Any more nominations?
No, I don't think you're
We
gonna
have
hear
to
it.
vote on Gary first, right?
Well, we gotta get a second, I'll second it.
Before he changes his mind. Well, he changes. All-
Hearing no
All in
others?
favor?
Yeah, aye.
Aye. He's all-
Those opposed? Okay, do we also need a assistant,
The vice chair.
vice chair?
Randy Cleaving.
Randy Cleaving?
He ain't here, so that's what happens.
Yeah, that's how it happened to
We'll teach
Greg.
him miss a meeting.
Okay.
right.
Do we have a motion for Randy? Okay, I'll second that. All in favor of Randy?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. Randy is the vice chair. Okay,
Randy
dokie.
Cleaving now,
Cleaving, right.
not Cole.
Too many Randy.
I'm taking a cover here, Randy.
Randy
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Last name. Who made the motion? You seconded?
Paul made the
Paul
motion.
made the motion.
Okay.
Randy needs to know that.
Just leave it as Randy, that way either one of them do it.
Okay. Okay, I think we would be
No.
ready at this point. Schedule a next meeting, June, what's the corresponding date, folks? June,
24th?
Thursday the 24th,
Last Thursday.
23rd.
23rd.
23rd?
23rd.
okay. 4 o'clock. And I assume we are going to continue meeting here and not back at the annex, is that correct? Is that the feeling?
Going on here in G.
Pardon?
There's nothing going
Okay.
on, not
until you get into October, we'll.
Okay, well, we'll keep it right here then. Gentlemen, have a great month, a great holiday, and,
I'll entertain
Be
a motion
safe.
to adjourn. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
okay, we have a motion
Or
to
I'll make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Is there a second on that?
I'm running out.
Second?
Second.
Second, and those in favor, please signify. Aye.
I'm just
Opposed?
saying I'll entertain a
Okay,
motion.
guys.
That's what I do.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
I'm not normally in the seat. It's got me all off. You might as well, you're sitting there right.